with his new podcast series. Chris Hagen is not dead yet!
Hello. So, welcome to the next episode of Not Dead Yet. Now, I'm sitting here by my pool, very, very hot. Me and also the weather, also the water in the pool, surrounded by pumpkins. Now, why is that? Because tomorrow, or today if you're listening to this, is Halloween. And what better time to do a podcast, which is called Not Dead Yet, than Halloween, obviously. So let me tell you about my amazing pumpkins that I have here. Some of them are pumpkins and some of them are watermelon pumpkins. Why, Chris, I hear you say? Why watermelons? Well, here, watermelons grow basically all year. And trying to find an orange pumpkin is really, really difficult here. I literally, no word of a lie, it's a very British expression there, no word of a lie, had to travel 2 hours to a supermarket to buy orange pumpkins. Yes, because where I live, there's no orange pumpkins. But there are watermelons, and I thought, why not try with a watermelon? Apart from the fact that inside is liquidy as hell, but you do get to drink it, mix it with a bit of vodka, not bad. But cleaning out a watermelon is very different from cleaning out the guts of an orange pumpkin. Try it. But to be honest, they actually look quite good. Green, with the veiny lines on it, they actually look more spooky, or spookier. They actually look better. The only problem is, the skin's a little bit thin, and so they do get a bit, loose, slack. I don't know what kind of word you can use. They're not stiff, they're not rigid, let's say, like the orange ones that you could smash a window with. So I'm here surrounded by a mixture of watermelon pumpkins and pumpkins. I can't really call it a watermelon pumpkin, but it's a pumpkin for Halloween. I can't really call it a Halloween watermelon, doesn't really have the same ring to it. But yeah, so I'm here trying to educate people about Halloween, because here, nobody even knows what it is. And everybody seems to think that it is an American tradition. So let's start with a little bit of history. So, Halloween began, as most good things do, with a healthy fear of death. The ancient Celts, remember, Celts, not Celts. Celtic is the Scottish football team, and Celtic is the word from Ireland. Celtic, the adjective. So the ancient Celts called it Samhain. Now this word, Samhain, is spelt Samhain. Just to confuse people even more, the spelling and the pronunciation are completely different. Unless you speak Irish, and then you can say it perfectly. Speaking of which, Derry, Londonderry, whatever you want to call it, Halloween, fantastic. If you're in Ireland, Laura, you're there now, get your backside over to Londonderry, to Derry, because they have a fantastic Halloween parade. I was there the other year, amazing. I couldn't get enough of it, and I think I even went twice. It was really, really good. Derry, Londonderry, the place to be on Halloween. I'm sure there's other places around the world which are amazing as well, but this one is especially good, also because you get to see the big mural, or muriel, as my dad calls it, big mural of Derry Girls that are that fantastic comedy on Netflix. So let's go back. What is Samhain? Well, Samhain is the night when the border between the living and the dead was allegedly as thin as the skin of my watermelon pumpkins. Now, what did they do? Well, they lit fires, they lit bonfires, they donned animal hides and hoped the wandering spirits would mistake them for one of their own. Primitive identity theft, really. And so they would be left alone, everything would be okay, a wonderful night all together, like when you go to a wedding and just hope and pray nobody kills each other or fights. If you read my book, you know that doesn't always happen. Now, centuries later, the church swept in, as always, and performed a rebrand, All Hallows Eve. Now, this is basically a marketing exercise, and it's still going today. So they remarketed Samhain into All Hallows Eve, which now is Halloween. Yes, there's more sugar and less ghosts, but still, the idea is the same. Now, let's fast forward 1,000 years from when the church changed its name. Halloween now is a global carnival of plastic and panic, trick-or-treating, parties, and overpriced skeleton decor made somewhere that definitely doesn't celebrate it, China. Do they celebrate Halloween in China? Now I've said that, I'm questioning myself. I don't know, because here in South Asia, I don't know which countries know what Halloween is, because really, I've seen nothing. Like I said, I had to go 2 hours to get an orange pumpkin. So why is the world obsessed with the dead? Why? Well, in Mexico, I'm going to say this wrong, but I've got it written down here. Dia de los Muertos. Okay. Turns death into art, basically. This is Day of the Dead. I'm guessing that's what it translates to. You have skulls painted with many things, okay, and people enjoy painting the skulls. They have a wonderful time. They laugh, they joke, they decorate graves with marigolds, and everybody just pretends that death is just like somebody sitting at the table, like, welcome, come in, pull up a pew. But did you bring a bottle? Word of advice to people listening to this: remember, when you're a guest at somebody's house, please take something. You don't need to take a Ferrari or a Mercedes G-Class. That would be appreciated. But at least a bottle of wine, or a salad, or a quiche, or a dessert. In 2025, I've noticed many people, especially young people, this is what I'm saying, this is education time as well. When you go to visit someone who's invited you to their house, take something. Don't turn up empty-handed. And that doesn't mean just go with your phone to take selfies. Now, in Japan, there is Obon, and in this time, families welcome ancestral spirits, and they invite them to come home, back to their houses, and they have lanterns, beautiful lanterns, graceful lanterns, dignified lanterns, and as you would expect in Japan, very organised, very tidy, very good, very sophisticated. Now in America, as we know, subtlety dies a rapid death. Since we're talking about death, let's keep it coherent. So in America, subtlety has gone out the window. Plastic tombstones, fog machines, neighbours competing to see who can have the scariest garden. Have you seen Modern Family? In every series of Modern Family, there is a Halloween episode. Go and check it out. Modern Family is an amazing show. If you've never seen it, you can see it still online. Probably illegally, probably legally. I don't know where. I've already seen it. But there is always a Halloween episode where Claire gets obsessed. Well, she is obsessed with Halloween. And you can really see how some people go to town with Halloween. So here, people just keep saying to me, but why? Why do you celebrate ghosts? Why are you happy about dead things? Are there not enough problems in life? It was said to me today. I was like, yeah, but it's nice. But is it really nice? I mean, to be honest, I keep asking my students and my friends, but what are you going to dress up as tomorrow? One person, Luca, hi Luca, said, I'm going to dress up as a mummy. He's got the bandages from the hospital. And I said, yes, but underneath you're going to wear something, because if you get sweaty through the night, they're going to slip off and it'll be not really a Halloween party, but more like a strip show. So he's going to dress up as a mummy. Other people are going to dress up as vampires. One student said he's going to dress up as a cowboy, and his friend's going to dress up as a policeman. And I said, but do you know the village people? He didn't get the connection. Young people don't know who the village people are. Which is a shame, really, because YMCA is very popular at weddings. I don't know if it's popular at Halloween parties, but it should be, considering the village people are all dressed up. So, yeah, me, costume, dressing up, hate it. Don't understand the point, but I like to see other people doing it. I'm the kind of person who would send one person an invite to a party saying fancy dress is obligatory and tell everybody else not to, so that when they turn up, they're the only person in fancy dress. A bit like the scene in Bridget Jones where she dressed up as a hooker. But yeah, so I think only once my face was painted by Valentina, whose birthday it is in a couple of days. I know it's not. Her husband's birthday in a couple of days. Ooh, thank God I have an app for birthdays on my phone. But she's the one who painted my face. She painted my face white so we could go to a concert to surprise a singer. And this singer, I was stood right at the front, and this singer didn't recognise me. Because obviously, when you know me, if you really know me, you know that's not the kind of stuff I do. I'm not that kind of person. But I do love it when other people dress up. And I like the pumpkins, the cobwebs and things. I actually need to get some cobwebs, but here in 39 degrees, where the hell can I get things to make cobwebs? I have to go and buy some cotton wool or go to the pharmacy. It's very difficult to celebrate these things in the strangest weather ever for us. Because Halloween should be when it's autumn or fall in America, where it's cold, foggy, misty. I think it's quite seductive, actually. Romantic, okay. And then you have the pumpkins flashing away. My friend Brian in Korea is obsessed with Halloween. I think he put up his Halloween decorations like 3 weeks ago. I'm sure I saw online he put them up 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I've never really dressed up. But if I did, I would dress up as a vampire, I think. Because I think vampires have a je ne sais quoi, I don't know, very sophisticated, elegant, just like me really. Depends on how many beers I've had. But also here, not only finding orange pumpkins was difficult, also finding tea lights. Yesterday, so tea lights, for those who don't know, are them little tiny stubby candles, the little fat ones, tiny ones in a piece of metal. They last for about 4 hours. They have a little flame. And I actually had to send a taxi, again, over 90 minutes away to collect these tea lights. Why I didn't go? Just too lazy. And in Indonesia, which is where I am at this moment, for Halloween, taxis are dirt cheap. Dirt cheap means very, very cheap. Yeah. So now I have tea lights. I've got my watermelon pumpkin. I'm gonna call it a watermelon pumpkin forever, I think. I think we should all have watermelon pumpkins. It's the future. And they're tasty as well. I already told you I drunk the inside after sticking my hand through it. A bit like the scene in, what was it? In Scream. Was it Scream? Scream 2? No, Scream, what's it called that? The funny version of Scream. Oh, I don't remember. That series anyway. Scary movie. Where that guy puts his hand into a pie. Imagine that with a squelching and the... Exactly the same. Yeah. So, costumes, not my favourite thing. Yeah. Now, films. Yesterday I was doing a conversation lesson with a group. A mix of people from Asia and also from Europe. And we were talking about Halloween, obviously, because it's tomorrow. Or today, if you're listening on Halloween. Depends when John uploads it for me. Thank you, John. Shout out to John. Best assistant ever. And so, we were talking about Halloween and films. Okay, and we talked about The Shining, with them evil twins, The Exorcist, Don't Look Now, all these kind of things. Halloween films are good, again, when it's not hot outside. Last week I tried to make some children, they didn't force children who are part of a friend's group, okay, children I know, not random children off the street. I didn't drag them in like a horror film. I tried to make them watch The Addams Family, and after 3 minutes they fell asleep. Now, I don't know whether that's because The Addams Family is boring for the youth of today, or just because they had no idea what was going on, they just fell asleep anyway. I don't know. But yeah, The Shining, I don't think you can show that to a kid, or The Exorcist. But when you're trying to teach about Halloween to people who don't know, what in your opinion would be the best film? And we spoke about this yesterday, and The Nightmare Before Christmas came up, which is good. Now, another one of my students mentioned Tetsuo, which is the Iron Man. Now, I'd never seen this, but I knew the idea. And I actually have written here, it is a Japanese black and white industrial horror where a man slowly transforms into metal after a collision with a metal fetishist. Yeah, you heard that correctly. So it's part horror, part fever dream, and entirely what happens when Freud meets factory machinery. And another student, Enrico, hi Enrico, sent me a message before saying, what the hell did I just watch? But, hey, good for you. You actually sat through it. So it's pretty grotesque, this film, by the sounds of it. And I suppose, as a horror film, maybe that's good. One film which is not really horror, but can drive you a bit crazy, is a film with Eva Green called Womb. Now, I've forced many of my students and friends to watch this film, but when I watched this film, It's not scary. It's just like, what? At the end of it, when the film finished, me and my friend just looked at each other in silence. Normally when we watched a film together, at the end you go, what did you think? How good that was? Silence. Utter silence. This is a good film to watch. So yeah, we have The Shining. Okay, there's also Hocus Pocus, which is very, very cute. Also for kids, I'm guessing. So let's do this then. Seeing as I'm an English teacher, as you know, let's talk about some of the expressions and idioms that are connected to Halloween. So in English, we have some nice expressions. For example, to kick the bucket, which means to die. Pushing up daisies. This means to be dead because you're in the ground and you're pushing the daisies up out of the ground. You're helping them grow. To be 6 feet under. This is in a coffin. To be buried, dead and gone. To meet one's maker. To meet one's maker is cute. Sounds quite Shakespearean. This means to die in a bit of a nice way. And what other one? Let's see. 1 foot in the grave. Okay, that means that you're almost dead. You're really old. He's got 1 foot in the grave. And also, to shuffle off this mortal coil. This is a very poetic way of saying someone has died. It's actually from Hamlet, speaking of Shakespeare. Yeah, so to shuffle off this mortal coil. Mortal coil means where we are today. And what about idioms? Idioms. Okay, so to give up the ghost. To give up the ghost. This means to die or to stop working. So I could say this morning I was using my car and it gave up the ghost. It died. Now, not literally, it didn't die like have to have a funeral, but you get the point. It stopped working. A ghost town. Now, I actually like going to abandoned places and ghost towns like that. I've not been to any here in Southeast Asia yet. Not yet. If you know any, let me know, because I will be going to them. So a ghost town is an abandoned place which is got no people and extremely eerily quiet. Really, really quiet. And an expression we spoke about yesterday, which is the same in many languages actually. Skeletons in the closet. Do you have a skeleton in the closet? I think everybody does, really. Yeah, so this is like a hidden secret or a past event that you're ashamed of. What is my skeleton in the closet? What secret can I give? A skeleton in the closet. But, no idea. I have to think about that and let you know. I don't think I have any skeletons in the closet because I'm quite an open book. Speaking of not dead yet. And a witch hunt. A witch hunt. Okay, this is when there is like a campaign. Everybody is fighting to blame or persecute somebody. So they want to blame them, and so there is a witch hunt. So the truth is, at the end of the day, Halloween isn't about ghosts or sugar. It's about our fascination with endings. Why are we all obsessed with death? I suppose not everybody is, but most people, yeah. Like, also, the other thing which is very strange, every conversation you have at a dinner party ends up talking about the toilet. Why is that? And in Italy, when you're eating your dinner, you talk about what you had for lunch, what you had for breakfast, and what you will eat tomorrow. These things are very, very strange. But Halloween, yeah, we're all pretty obsessed with it. In Europe and in America, for sure. And in Ireland. Well, Ireland is Europe. Unless they leave as well, who knows. But continent-wise, Dad, it is still in Europe. Also England. So remember, get carving your pumpkins, your watermelons, even try and carve a banana. I'm sure you can try. And so light them. Light your lanterns. Light your pumpkins, your jack-o'-lanterns. Light your watermelons. And if you manage to carve a banana, make sure you light one of them and send me a photo, because that I would like to try and see. And make sure you enjoy yourself, having a very, very nice time. And don't do anything dangerous, because we don't actually want to die. We just want to have the idea of Halloween. It doesn't actually mean we need to sacrifice anybody. Well, not yet anyway. In the future, who knows what Halloween will develop into, evolve into, but hopefully nothing too drastic. So I've done this because this podcast is called Not Dead Yet, and I think it's very, very appropriate considering it's Halloween. So have a very good Halloween. And if you've already read my book Not Dead Yet, go and get the book Sawah Putih, which is an Indonesian title, but the book is written in English, and it's written specifically for English students, people studying English. Every chapter is very short, easy to understand. It's not Harry Potter. It's done for educational purposes, and it's got a bit of a spooky feel as well, like in the rice fields of Indonesia with the mist and spooky stories and strange things happen that can't be explained, etc. So there you go. You got 2 things to do if you're not going to a party. You got 2 books to read, 3 things, and also listen to my podcast. So have a wonderful time, whether you're alone, with your pumpkins, with your watermelon pumpkins, or with a black cat. Whatever you're doing, enjoy and stay safe.
Happy Halloween!